Mm-hmm. Yep. Shit.
8 web.
Yep.
App web. 8 vape connects. No. 8 web. App web.
What's that?
8 vape connects. No. 8 web.
What's that? Oh.
8 vape connects. No. 8 web.
What's that? Oh.
8 vape connects. Why is my game like this?
Okay, hold on. Who's breathing so hard like that?
That's
Is it?
as always.
Sorry.
Oh,
need to
fucking
reset
hell.
my
I'm
game.
hearing myself now. Okay. That's what I gotta do.
Are you hearing it on Tillman's stream? Probably on YouTube?
Yeah, he's streaming on YouTube. I'm gonna grab my my tablet though. Because I'm switching
think-
between the I still have the headset on me, that's the thing.
Grabbing the fucking tablet.
Yeah, an iPad.
Learning FA-18 in DCS with friends.
Come on. No, that's an invite. Why'd you send that invite? Was it
In DCS
DM?
channel down below.
Okay, I just no. No, I got it. Wait, what? None of the problems on my side.
I can see your stream fine.
There you go. I found it.
Fucking one-shot it.
All right. Yeah, it's something that you don't use often. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of bullshit on the trimmer switch. It's got two different binds. You don't want that. No. So joy button 13 and like 11, 12, 13, 15, you don't want that. I would just clear it. Yeah, it's easy to redo. Don't worry about it. Yeah, right click on it and yeah, you get. I would re-clear. Okay, I'll let you do trimmer switch. So just so we're clear, when I'm talking about the hat, that's pretty obvious. It's the four-way switch, right? The stick switches, so you got a trigger, you got left, right, and the bottom one. So those are the 4 buttons you got on the stick, right? And you got left base buttons, you got right base buttons. Just clearing out these, improving comms here. Okay. So now if you use the stick hat, you're gonna do sensor control switch, left, right, forward, aft. And if you hold your modifier, then you should do trimmer. By the way, if you can make the difference between a trimmer switch push and pull, right? When you push it, it's gonna push the nose down. So right? Yeah. So it should be descent. Just make sure you don't invert those. You're gonna have to redo undesignate because it's got 2 binds. Oh yeah, clear it and redo it. That's gonna be stick bottom. So now you got gun trigger, button 1, button 2, that's on designate, weapon release, that's button 3, that's the pickle switch. Button 4 doesn't have a main function. It's gonna have a secondary function with the modifier, but basically when you put something there, that's gonna be an option. Yeah. So, okay, so that's all done. Let's make sure the weapon select switch is done, so that's gonna be your right-hand side base buttons. So just get used to that. Okay, so stick is done. We're gonna go top left and we're gonna select throttle grip. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna correct that. That's not a problem. So this, you're gonna do modifier and your ring button. Yeah, so here's the thing. Under normal circumstances, your pinky button should be your ATC control switch, and your ring button should be your not cage on cage. Actually, tell you what, hold on. Don't even bother with that. Just clear ATC engage disengage, just to clear that. There you go. Simple enough. Let's try them out as they are, because they might be properly done. Someone's talking, what's up? Am I interrupting someone? Okay. So, the cage on cage button should be your thumb button, the one at the bottom of your... try it out.
Fuck you, dude.
It's... So, you can... So, caging and uncaging is for weapon sensors, so on the missiles, and it's for the heads-up display as well. One thing at a time. We'll just go through that first, all right? The hat on top of the cage on cage button should be your dispense switch. So if you push it forward, that should be flare. No, it should be chaff. And if you pull it, yeah, so that's probably set up. The switch, the hat switch on top, that should be your comms button. So forward and aft should be mids A, mids B. I'm seeing that. And left and right should be COM1, COM2. Yeah. But the thing is, the way I see hats, because, you know, a hat switch position can be, you know, you can move it, right? It can kind of move. So forward, aft, and then left and right, like left is left of forward. You get the idea? So forward is always going to be the same thing. You're always going to just push the hat wherever it wants to go. So if it's on your throttle, it's going to go forward, but if it's on your stick, it's going to go up. You see the difference a bit? So instead of talking up, down, left, right, I'm just talking forward, aft, left, right. You see the difference? Yeah, I know. Well, you gotta get used to it, man. Because DCS always works like this. Well, I say that, but I only have experience with the F-18, so what do I actually know? Okay, so we did the comm switch. So the top hat should be... what is it? Oh no, I actually made a mistake. The very top hat should be your countermeasures. Okay, so we're gonna change that. I'm talking all thumb hats, by the way. So the very top should be countermeasures, the middle one should be comms, and the bottom one should be speed brake. Yep. Starting top to bottom should be the real F-18 throttle grip. You might as well. Right on top, TWCS throttle, right click, clear a kit. No, not that. TWCS throttle, right click. Or click a little, there's a little triangle next to it. Right there, clear category. COM switch is going to be the middle. So COM 1 is going to be, is going to go up. Yep. No, don't touch this one. COM 2 is going to be the opposite of COM 1. And let's see if we got this right. Mid A's could be forward. Basically, you push the head, the middle head forward. Okay. So just so you understand the heads better, so basically what you did is top, bottom, forward, aft. All right? Just so we understand each other. So this pin switch, aft and forward, that's going to be the top hat. We're going to skip exterior lights. When you go to rate FLIR FOV select button, that's going to be your ring finger.
The wait for button was when the teapot, when you switch between narrow and wide.
Yeah, you can do that. It's got other functions as well. Radar elevation control, we're going to take your middle finger switch. It's a two-way switch. So put them up as you will. Let's say down and up as it is. Clamp switch, that's odd. That's not right. We're going to have to fix that. Speed brake. So you're going to map extend and retract. So that's going to be the bottom thumb hat. Basically forward and aft. So extend will... Okay. So the thumb hat at the bottom. So the one next to the cage on cage button. Okay. Hold on. You just make 2 binds for extend. So basically, when you want to deploy the speed brake to slow down, you just take that switch and pull it back. And when you want to stow away the speed brake, you just push it forward. Simple. TDC depress. That's gonna be the little joystick. You're just gonna click it. Okay. TDC up, down, left, right. We don't touch that. We're gonna have to map exterior lights. So here's the thing. No, that one's on the grip. It's on the left side. You're gonna see it once you get in the cockpit. But so here's the thing. The F-18 throttle grip has a lot of two-way switches. and you have four-way switches instead. So what that means is basically you got extra binds. So if you end up in the jet and you find that there are some switches that you want to use on your HOTAS more than on the mouse, basically you're gonna have this option, and you can use modifier to make even more binds. I'm gonna check something real quick. Just give me a minute. So basically, if you use only one button to toggle the state of the switch, you want to use on/off. So on/off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. Or you could use only one button and just toggle this one.
Yeah.
That's an option as well. I'm
I
just gonna
find light better to just do it in the cockpit.
I'm just gonna get back in.
But that's personal choice.
How did I do that? Well, what I'm making you map is what's on the actual throttle and stick. Wait, what if... Oh, shit, okay. Hold on, I'm just checking something real quick on my side. Why is it not working? That's probably bugged. Damn it. Hold on, I need to make... I just need to check something on my side. Let me see. Throttle grip. All right. Okay, I'm gonna make you a suggestion. So, DCS have this program called SRS, so Simple Radio Standalone. Basically makes radios more like real aircraft, right? You have to punch in the frequency and you get the idea? The thing is, it kind of conflicts with the comms menu. They want to use that for takeoff and what's it called? Rearming. This little comms menu. So what I would recommend is that you use a modifier for those two buttons. So comms 1 and 2, instead of doing the comms hat up and down, you just do modifier up and down. And the idea behind it is so that you can use yes. Yeah, these two will bring this menu. But there's another set of comms 1 and 2, and we have the option of mapping those as well. Let me see. Okay, the stream is paused. That's why I'm having so fucking issues.
I think he paused it on his end. Because for me it's still fine.
Yeah. Hold on, I just need to... I screwed something up with the stream. Okay, I'm looking... You're in all but access command. Let's go back to throttle grip. Yeah, right there. So, if you want eventually to use SRS, which I recommend because it's actually pretty useful, and all the servers, all the 4YA servers have an SRS server as well. Basically, what you would like is do com1 call radio menu to add the modifier. So you can just edit the command and add the modifier. So right click on joy button 7, just add modifier. Yeah, it should be, oh no, you need to edit it. What is it? Or clear it and rebind it. Yeah, and then VoIP. Hold on, I'll let you finish. Hold on, you got 2 binds for COM2. Yeah, so basically if you hold your modifier, your pinky switch, and do the COM hat up, you're going to do COM1, and you can do COM2. Now, COM1 VoIP and COM2 VoIP, you can just do those two without the modifier. So same stuff. Yep. So basically when... Okay, fair enough. But if you want to use it eventually, you know, if you want to use SRS or... I think there's in-game comms now. Hans, do you know anything about this?
They are in games com, yeah.
Yeah, so I think those buttons will allow you to talk on radio.
But I don't use them, I disable them.
So A-18c engage disengage switch is going to be the same as the rate flare switch. So it's going to be your ring finger, but you're just going to use the you're just going to use a modifier with it. So top line. So that's 1, 2. Shouldn't be joy button 2 and 3. What's button 3 actually? Should... Sorry. All right, let's go through it all. So let's make sure you're... let's do... let's start by cage on cage. That should be the bottom thumb button. Yeah, the orange button. The hat right on top of it should be a speed brake. Yeah, I'm seeing a delay with the YouTube, so I'm taking my time. The hat on top of it, the middle one, should be forward and aft. That should be mids. Yeah, after mids, going up and down should be unbound right now. And when you use the modifier, you'll be able to open the comms menu with either radio. The top hat should be forward aft, and that should be for your countermeasures. So that's going to be, what's it called? Dispense switch. So it should be forward and aft. Left, right looks about right. Little thing about the dispense switch I'm going to tell you right now. The behavior of your countermeasures will change depending on the countermeasures switch. So when it's on bypass, basically you'll have manual control over chaff and flare. But when it's put on, it's going to use a program. So it's we'll touch on this later once you start trying to defend yourself, but it's just a little thing of note here. And we did all the thumb. So sensor control switch depress, that's the mini stick. When you click it, should be easy. Radar elevation control, up and down. After that, your rate FLIR should be your ring finger. And when you modify your ring finger, that should be your ATC engage disengage. You got all that? Perfect. Remember your exterior light switch, because the switch inside the cockpit cannot be operated with the mouse, if I recall. So that's going to be your button if you want to flick your lights on and off. So that's nav lights, formation lights. So basically that's done. So you're going to have a handful of free binds. Some of them I would recommend for gear and flaps. So I would say go on the top left, click on throttle grip, and just get... Actually, we're going to do... let's go what's it called? Yeah, we'll get to that real soon. We'll get to... Try to look for the button 10, just for fun. What I would recommend, so the way I had it set up for landing gear and flaps, it was on the left side of the stick. So basically, when you would do a carrier brake, usually you're supposed to drop your gear and flaps during that pattern. So you're pulling on the stick, you're trying to keep the aircraft, on the level altitude, and your right hand is busy, so you need your left hand to do it. So usually I would just bring my left hand to the base of the stick and just press the buttons as needed. That's how I did it. You're gonna need 2 buttons, so up and down. Yep. You're just gonna cycle through this switch positions. You want me to explain you what you're seeing right now? Okay. All right, so you got gear and flaps. Let me see what you would like to have as well on top of that. You know what? If you're up for it, you could map the master arm. So basically, it's just toggle arm to save. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be right back, okay? I'm back. Got myself a second beer. So basically, the entirety of everything that's on the Hornet's stick and throttle should be mapped right now. Anyway, most of, like 99% of what you're gonna use. So the other things you're going to need is free look. So how did you handle free look in the F-15? Would you just use the mini stick for zoom? Okay, you have a little wheel for your pinky. I would recommend you use that. Mm. What you can do is increase the dead zone level to like a substantial level. Basically, it's going to be easier to get a normal zoom. So basically, that sweet spot is going to be easier to hit. And this way, you can just like flick it all the way forward for full zoom and all the way back. So I would recommend you do that for zoom. For zoom, say what now? Zoom is going to be an axis, yes. So it's going to be at the bottom. No, that's not it. Cancel that. Okay, so here's the thing. Now we have conflicting. We're gonna have conflicting binds because the sensor, the mini stick is supposed to be used for the sensor control switch. So not that. Sorry, the TDC. So basically, when we want to select targets on a multifunction display, you could. That's an option. Here's the thing. I haven't played. Okay, I'll tell you my perspective real quick because when I was playing the F-18 with your piece of kit, I also had track IR, so I didn't need to bind like trying to view horizontal or vertical view. I didn't need to bind that. I was just using track IR for this. So I don't know how you're gonna deal with that. You could just use your mini stick without. Can you use? Actually, I don't know if you can do that. I don't think you can use a modifier with an axis with an axis. I don't think that works.
But you can set it up in a program.
Yeah, but it's a bitch.
I have that
to
for
configure.
my Axis joystick on my HOTAS.
You might see some problems with that. You should probably test it out. I highly recommend you test that, by the way. Yeah, but what I'm saying, tested in game, because the way axes are being bound in DCS, it's not as intuitive. And I recall seeing this problem. I was trying to use an axis for two different things, and it just wouldn't work. I remember this happening to me. So if you release the modifier, does it work? Like, okay, we'll see. Anyway, well, if it works like this, perfect. But I'm telling you, test it. Because if it doesn't work, you're gonna have to find an alternative. That's what I'm saying. In this group of axes, you can check for zoom as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could right-click joy slider one and then tune axis. So put it wherever you want. Actually, I think you can set it as a slider as well. I don't know if how good it works though. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So we did HOTAS controls. We did view. We did landing gear and flaps. I think that should be the basics, really. Everything else.
Did you gun through hook?
Oh,
With him?
wheel brake. That's important.
Wheel brake and hook.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't do that. Hook, it's not that bad because you just. Yeah, actually, the
Gets the
hook is
easiest part in
easy
the world.
because you can just use the mouse for that.
Yeah, you're right.
If you have to get the hook down in an emergency, there's a bigger fucking problem. Usually, you call inbound 50 miles away and you drop the hook. That's how it works.
Did you configure the
Oh yeah,
radar
what
zoom on your screen as a button?
radar zoom?
So you can air-to-air mode on the right MFI, the on the right side, the top two buttons where you I don't know the word currently for it.
Oh yeah. So basically, he's talking about the MFD buttons. What he wants to do is basically have a HOTAS control for those two buttons, so you can zoom in and out very easily. That's actually
Yeah,
a good idea.
they
You're
are
gonna
really
need,
good. I use them.
yeah. While you're in access commands, find a spot for wheel brake. I'm not sure if we have an access for that. You could use a button, but you need a way to slow the aircraft down. Yeah, I would. This is an axis, so it's gonna want you to put an axis there. But if you want to configure a button, you're gonna have to go in a different category. Okay. We'll see if it works. Again, testing. Yeah, but what you see there and what happens once you're in the cockpit might differ. This is the point I'm trying to make. We'll test those. Um, if you would like, we can configure the buttons as well for the radars if you want. I just don't remember which buttons they are. Yeah, they're clickable, but if you're trying to fiddle with your radar settings, do you want to grab the mouse, basically stop flying the aircraft because your hands no longer? That's a good option as well.
Yeah, it is actually.
Not everybody has stream decks, and we're not as rich as you are.
Yeah. Fucking sermon.
Yeah, Spike, shut your goddamn mouth.
Okay, let's sum it up. His verbal setup is probably
I
like
knew. I knew
700,
what was gonna happen when I said that.
700, 800. Then he got the keyboard. That's probably is your keyboard a Keychron MK2?
Yeah, it's a K2, I think.
Yeah, it looks like the K2. Then we got his whole mounting system was probably around 600 again.
Wait,
5
what?
to 6.
You want numbers? I'll give you the
500 to
numbers.
600 for your metal bars.
Hold on. Let's
75.
probably thereabouts. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's a joke, right?
I mean, his verbal system is pretty good.
I said that's
I
a
like
joke,
it.
right? No, but it is.
Mm-hmm. No. No, it's. I'm actually serious. It's probably.
75,000.
I spent more on a set of pedals than you said.
75,000
Yeah, probably.
dollars.
Yeah, probably.
Canadian dollars.
Oh, they're more worth.
Spike, do you have like a trust fund?
No, that's no. I have nothing other than a gaming rig and a sim rig. I have a car, but it's paid for.
So what do you like? How are you able to spend $75,000?
In 3 years?
Yes, in 3 years. That doesn't make it better.
It's a hobby. You've seen people spend this kind of money on boats? No, seriously. You've seen people buy
Not-
boats at this price? At this
not-
price?
Normal people.
Yeah, it's normal. What? You know, if you want to go into a hobby like a bike or a boat, you know, it's even more expensive than that, usually. Bro, I would spend my life trying to get into one of these seats. I got a
I don't
50
have that type of disposable income though, like to spend on.
Yeah, we all do.
No, a PC that much.
Honestly, my PC is the only place I spend my money on. The rest is just
Do you live in a garage?
no.
It is.
I have a small apartment.
It's a love shack
Oh, shit.
with $75,000 worth of computer parts.
Yeah, 75. Yeah,
7,500.
that's not much.
You said 1,000. I fucking clarified 1,000.
Oh, no, no, no.
75,000.
No, I heard 7,500.
Well, you
Yeah,
heard wrong.
And we fucked with you.
I heard you say 75,000, Spike.
I
You
tried
did.
to get the aircraft into get it hot, like hot on the ground.
I'll get you hot.
I want to test some things before.
Oh,
because
holy shit! You wanna
I'm
cancel it right
foreseen some
away?
problems. Actually,
So, man?
look at your brakes. Yeah, your zooming works. How about your wheel brakes? It should be modifier and
zoom
should be-
out and press your button.
yeah, press your pinky button and then
You can
use
press
your,
my little button.
Shut the fuck up.
We should be able to see it on the. We should be
Yeah,
able to.
you
No,
see-
they're not working. We should be able to see it by your pedals.
Okay, do this. Right control, enter. It's gonna give you a little.
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, okay.
But they're
if
not
you
full
try to
moving.
use zooming
not
and
full.
then wheel brakes. Okay, Storman, here.
Special.
Press right control enter. It's
Yeah.
gonna give us a visual representation. Right control enter. Just do that. It's gonna give us all the axes of position. No, I don't see it, oddly enough.
It's not good.
Do you see it? You should have a little red screen. Are you
Huh.
doing left control enter or right control enter? Okay, because I don't see it.
Yep, me too.
Do you? Okay. Oh, so okay. So, okay. Oh, now. Oh, hold on. Now we see it.
Yep.
Okay. Now, can you have good control of zoom and wheel brakes? Because what I'm afraid is going to happen is that, yeah, there's going to be limitations here, right? You understand that?
You don't need that.
The thing is, it could be simpler if you just use the button for wheel brakes.
If you could just pay the money to get
Shut the
all the
fuck up.
stuff he has.
Find a button for wheel brake.
It's
Simple.
Shift W.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's gonna have to take his hand off his throttle to do that.
I know.
Not I do. It's not perfect. It's another
Oh, it's
compromise.
Control W. I'm sorry.
And also, he has to keep his hand on the throttle because he uses it for his rudder.
Yep.
Yep, wheel brake. You just find a button for that. I would put it close to the speed brake, by the way, because to make this simple, once the F-18 touches down, what you want to do is speed brake, full extend. So the thing is, I don't know if brake heat is modeled in the game. I don't know if you can
No,
get
it
a brake
isn't.
failure. Probably isn't. But the right thing to do is deploy your speed brake, let the aircraft roll down as it touches, as it's rolling down the runway, and when it's up, when it's up, you can start doing wheel brake. It's gonna extend your landing distance a bit, but it shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, this is a carrier-capable aircraft, so you just pancake the thing on the runway. You're gonna see landings in an F-18 is radically different than an F-15. You don't flare in this thing. It's a 3-degree glide slope, and once it hits the runway, then you go brakes.
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't. Oh no.
You
Oh,
suck.
Shut up.
I'd do so much better with a mouse
You're
and
probably
keyboard.
better flying than us.
With a mouse and keyboard, 100%.
Why don't you install the game in free to play?
Spike, I'm still mad. You made me think you spent $75,000.
Well, I heard 7,500. I didn't hear 75,000.
Well, that's why I was so fucking dumbfounded.
No, this piece of shit doesn't cost $75,000. For this
I'd
price, you get a
fucking
full
hope not.
fidelity cockpit for that price. This is what you get, not some fucking aluminum rig with stuff bolted onto it. Okay, what's happening now? God damn it. I'll be right back. I need to piss again.
Here, let me open my mouth.
Chef, you're disgusting.
Why?
What's wrong with you today?
Nothing. What are you talking about? I just found 3,000 rubles. Is that good?
Yeah. That's
Oh, I
like
found
€7.
a pink Remington Model 95. Hell yeah. And it's loaded.
Last warning, you have 10 seconds to vacate the aircraft. Oh, weapons. Oh.
So man, hold on. Go back to throw grip. The thing is, if you switch categories, it might not get in. Yeah, that's a problem. Once you're done, click OK and come back.
You need that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
So
I'll
what
see
it
you guys
does-
later.
See you,
Have a good
Chaz.
night.
Cheers.
So the point of COM1 and COM2 on this modifier is that when you want to use the comms menu to, talk with ATC and this stuff, rearm, refuel, you do modifier COM1 and COM2. But when you want to use push to talk, whenever you get to that point, you just use COM1 and COM2 without modifier. By the way, mids A and mids B, that's a push to talk as well. It acts just like COM1 VoIP and COM2 VoIP, but it requires a data link. So that's a thing that you have to set up for it to work. But I'm not entirely sure if mids is set up to transmit voice in the game. VoIP works. The mini stick? Yep. That should be depressed. Yep. So that little joystick, once you use it, it's gonna move a cursor on one of your screen. So you're gonna use the mini stick along with the hat stick. Basically, the hat stick selects one of your 4 sensors. So that's the left and right screens, the heads-up display, and the MCPD, multi-purpose color display. So you have 3 screens in the Hornet, right? So left, right, down selects the screens, up selects the heads-up display. And once one is selected, you use the mini stick to move the cursor around. And you can select stuff by depressing it or clicking it. I'm not entirely sure.
You're cycling between full, auto, and half. You just have a lever for that in the cockpit, but you're cycling them between the 3 modes.
Oh, it's basically one button switches between 2 modes.
Yep.
So you still need 2 buttons, but instead of going up, up, and down, down, you just you cycle between 2 positions. That's for this is for like hardware switches. Actually, I can probably check that real quick. Let me see flaps. It's gonna be left, left, left. It's MDI. Yeah, let me see.
Hello.
Doesn't quite work. So-
Hello.
You saw
Who
people
dis-
in here and I wanted to say hi. It's Muffin.
Oh, what's up? Man, I haven't talked to you in a bit.
I haven't fucking been around. I stopped playing Squad.
Why?
Oh, you're fucking chump.
Dude, I haven't played Squad in like 3 weeks.
And?
It's been great.
It's
I-
like an
yeah.
alcoholic saying, I haven't drank beer in 3 weeks.
No, dude, I stopped playing squad. I started smoking weed. It's great, man. I'm out of the military now, so fuck it.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're a civilian now.
I know, it's fucking weird. I went and got my license for the state that I'm living in now, and I have the veteran tag on it, and I'm submitting my application for my disabled veteran car plate, so it's great.
You're
What's the
disabled?
disabled? But
Yep, I'm 100% disabled.
What is it? What happened to you, man?
I got medically discharged from my back.
Oh,
Yeah, I messed up my back pretty good. I got 4 bulging discs, a torn disc, and a torn ligament.
man, back injuries suck. Who is it? Is it my, I won't call him my, well, I guess he's my uncle, but, he's got similar kinds of injuries, and, you know, the guy's living the good life because he's got really good money coming in, he doesn't have to work, but then he has to deal with back problems every day. The guy got so fat now because, you know, he got back problems, he can't really exercise, right?
Yeah, that's the hardest part I'm finding. It's like, I can't run anymore.
Yep.
I physically cannot run. If I do, I lose all motor function in my right leg.
Yeah, back problems are a fucking bitch because he can't do anything anymore. And, you know, my uncle, he ended up getting fat because he couldn't move anymore, so he couldn't burn any energy. Each time, everything you do requires strength, it requires back strength. It fucking sucks. Who's the bitch up front? What the fuck is that? Who's there a jet? Are you? Oh my god! You went and test on a fucking multiplayer server. Seriously?
no.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Sonya.
Oh. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's fucking hounds I'm seeing in the stream. Nice.
I like looking at DCS because my old job I used to do with munitions for aircraft, so I like seeing all the crazy stuff that goes in there.
Bro, DCS is free. You can join.
I have it. I'm garbage at it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Join us.
Dude, I can't. I literally got
Are you
into
drunk?
DCS.
Oh, you can.
I'm a little stonered right now, but dude, I just started smoking weed a little over a week ago now.
Yeah, get yourself. Do like Sir, man. Get yourself friendly cliffs and like a cheap thrustmaster. Look at that.
I have a whole setup. I used
You
to fly in
motherfucker!
Arma.
You've got a full HOTAS and you're like,
As
canopies
strength,
on left side. Look there.
Control C. Control C.
No. Don't listen to him. Look up a little bit. Listen to me. Just listen to me. Okay, just look front. Okay, look left a little bit to the pillar. See the yellow handle? Yeah, you click on the little button and then you click on the lever. There's a big yellow lever on the left side of the cockpit. Can you see it? I can't see it. Yes.
I just threw my canopy away.
Yeah, it's not fun. We haven't seen yours, so it's not funny, Hans. Yeah, you press the button first. Yeah.
Press-
Look, there's a little button on top. Press it up. Press it.
Press it.
There's a
On the yellow
tiny
lever.
little button on top of the lever. On top of the
Yeah.
lever.
Press that and then pull the lever.
Oh, you fucking chump.
I did it. And see, I'm still fine.
Hey, you can fly. It's just extra drag and a lot of fucking noise. I don't know what they fucking model the canopy jettison. Like, no one would need to jettison the canopy in
I mean, I
DCS.
just did it.
Yeah, but not because you needed to. It's just for the fucking memes.
They have Mirages in here. Oh my god.
They have Mirages, they have Wiggins.
So I've only
Wiggins?
seen Mirages once, and that's when I was deployed.
See,
The
Muffin
first-
Man, just hit up the game, play with us, and we're flying squadron.
They have the F-16, fucking...
Funny you said.
How about the F-18?
I'm an F-15 fanboy. I love working with F-15s.
Okay, then buy yourself the F-15 for like $8 or 12.
Is
and
it the...
hop on with us.
Which version of the F-15 is it?
It's the F-15C.
Oh.
the SE is not out yet.
The E is the best model there is.
Hey, Muffin,
Yeah, but
are
it comes out this
you a
year.
Marine guy?
No,
Or
I was
a
Air
Navy
Force.
guy? You were Air Force.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You were
Yeah,
looking.
man.
You
I
had
built
F-16,
bombs, dude. That was my job. I worked
No.
with F-15Cs,
listen, I stopped-
F-15Es, and F-16s.
Yeah, well, when you said F-16, I
Yeah.
started to assume you were a Navy guy. So
No, I just don't like the... So, okay, I love the F-15E models just because of the amount of bombs that they can carry.
yeah, it's fucking.
That's
wild.
like, with my job, dropping bombs is like the most satisfaction that you can get. So you want to have a platform that's badass that can drop a bunch of bombs. And that was the F-15.
Like the A-10.
No, it's
Yeah, the
no,
A-10 would be the first.
The A-10 is a thing on its own. The only reason I don't like the A-10 is because of how we have to load the A-10. That's the only reason.
My understanding about the A-10 was that it was supposed to be easily serviceable. Tell me about it.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's fucking 30, 40 years ago now, whatever it is. Those things are so goddamn old now. Okay, the serviceability of the aircraft.
Okay.
So
itself.
what do you mean?
Yes.
Hey, I'm
What
sorry,
now?
Muffin, I'm gonna have
You
to
wanna start the
interrupt you.
airplane or what?
We're having two different conversations.
Control C.
Okay, you want to do? Okay, yeah. Control C will do it. You just hold it.
No, once. You just press it. You don't need to hold.
If you want to do it, if you want to find the switch, it's gonna be on the right side. If you want to do it with the mouse, it's gonna be on the right side. Sorry, I'm seeing delay, so I'm. It's gonna be underneath the canopy, really close to it. It's kind of hidden.
Yeah, it's that thing where you're hovering currently.
There's a big flappy switch. It's gonna be right on top of that. You just put you hover your mouse on it, eventually. I can see your mouse is on it right now. So once it turns green, you can do left click and right click to open it. Sorry, Muffin. We're teaching him out.
Hans.
What?
I'm
Yeah, he's
watching
watching
Hans.
me. I don't even have a canopy.
Yeah, I'd say don't touch the switch right now because your canopy is fully closed.
I got kicked.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Too high taxi speed. Let's go.
That's
on
all
the
you
V server
deserve.
then.
You want to cold start the jet?
Holy shit. That's the
Okay,
hard
you
part.
got. Do I want to do all like the safety tests, the the fire tests, and okay, battery on. Yeah, it's not on right now. Are you sure? Oh, okay, sorry. I need to tell you where to switch. Shut the what? Yeah. Yeah, make sure it's on. Hold on. No, not yet. Check your brake pressure and make sure the parking brake is enabled. So the handle is vertical and pulled. Well, it's written like right underneath the switch. You're gonna have on, off, override. You want on. Should be right click. And I know it's on because I see some things in the panel right on top. Yeah, and you see the little panel on top? You know how it lights up, and those are like caution lights. So battery switch, you get a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's go on the left side, same height. Let's go check. Let's go check brake pressure. Sorry, I'm seeing a delay, so I'm seeing everything very slow. Yeah, so brake pressure is good. They're about of 3,000, and the parking brake is vertical and pull. So your parking brake is on. We're gonna start the engines. So on the left side of the throttle, you're gonna have the APU switch. Turn that on. Yes, it's a console switch. Okay, there's a light next to it. Once it's green, it's ready. And I just saw you undo the parking brake. You're gonna need to right click, make it vertical, and then use a scroll wheel to pull it back. I'm gonna need a specific. Let me see, all the axis. Because you're gonna have to toggle the throttle to idle. Let's see, throttle. Left and right click. So scroll wheel forward, push it all away, and then left and right click until it's vertical. And then you use scroll wheel back. Your APU should be ready by now. Yep, okay, so what you want to do is engine crank right, so right click. Yep, right click the switch, engine crank. It's a 3-position switch, so left click will do the left, right click will do the right. We're doing right first. And you see underneath the left screen, you have a little display for the engines. That's called the IFE. So that's your engine status monitor, basically. So you want to look at this, and it's going to spool up in RPM all the way to 2027, thereabouts. When that's ready, what you want to do, right shift home. That's, by the way, put your throttles at idle, so that's good. Yes, it toggles the throttle from off to idle. So now your engine is spooling up. Idle RPM is thereabouts of 65 to 70%, and you'll hear the jet come alive when it gets there. So you're gonna hear some calls. Tell me when you do. Probably gonna hear dee-doo, flight controls.
So A-18c, request startup.
Is it right shift? Right alt home. Sorry, I might have made a mistake. Check the throttle grip itself. I might have given you the wrong throttle. I need to see it. I need to see the throttle grip inside the cockpit. Yeah, No, I'm not. I can't see it yet, so I can't tell you what's wrong.
Waypoint and...
So either your throttle is at idle, both of them, or only one is. Yeah, so, and you do that with the keyboard, and it's gonna be throttle right shift home. That brings it to idle. Okay, so if you look the IFE, you should see the right engine starting to spool up. it's not a mouse interaction. It's only a keyboard interaction.
Roll left, roll left.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing the throttle right now, and now they're in the right
Control.
position.
Flight control.
You see a little difference? Now the right throttle is in the idle detail. Yeah. We're gonna do some stuff on the jets, and we're gonna come back to the left throttle. So basically, your throttle keybinds you want to remember. So right shift is for the right throttle, right out is for the left throttle, and then you use home and end to get it to off and then idle. Home is idle and is off. And like, you know how right out and right shift, you know, they're left and right engines. So if you need to remember that, you just need to remember right out, right shift, and whichever side they're on is for this respective engine. So we're gonna turn on the the DDIs. So look at the screens. There's gonna be a little rotary button on top. Right click all the way to day. You do both of them. The center display at the bottom, there's a knob at the top as well. Same thing, you just this one's a little different. You just hold left click and turn all the way up. Yep. I'm seeing you right now doing the right DDI, left DDI, and underneath the little keypad, you know, we haven't been talking about the the cockpit itself. I should probably have done that. It's my first time teaching the F-18. I'm sorry, man. Let's start the left engine immediately, so we have APU power. So you've seen how we started the engine earlier? Engine crank, you're gonna do left click this time. Once it's pulled off enough, it's gonna be right out, home. Let's do that before the APU shuts off, because it does it on its own. Yep. Let's see if the engine starts. We lingered a bit, so again, the APU might shut off while it's trying to spool. The thing is, yeah, perfect. Was that you that I heard hitting this keyboard like?
Well, that was me.
Oh. So
Marveling at your two
seeing
9Ms.
both engines up. You can turn off the APU or just let it close on its own. It'll do. It'll come back to off by itself. Okay, where was it?
Just cruising here. Muffin.
Right.
All of sea.
Let's go around the cockpit, just to tell you what everything is, what every zone of the cockpit is about. Let's start at very left. So look at the left console all the way left. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. You might want to consider reducing latency. I think there's an option in that for Discord. Okay, so in there's a little switch that's important. It's labeled OBOGs. Flick that on right now so we don't forget about it. That's onboard oxygen generation system. So it's for your oxygen. You forget that switch and take off. By the time you reach 15,000 feet, your screen will fade to black. Because you're just your pilot turns hypoxic. You see there's 8 knobs right next to each other. Those are volumes for a bunch of tones. So the one I enjoy turning down are weapon and RWR. So that's RWR, that's the radar warning receiver. So when you get locked on. And the weapon is really important only for the Sidewinder. So you know when you select Sidewinder and it gives you a tone in your headset? That's the volume knob. And you got a bunch of other knobs as well. So look at them. I think you can figure them out. Listen, if something's too loud in the cockpit, odds are these are the buttons that will tone them down. You put them wherever you want, man. Usually, like, oh, okay. See, there's a big knob with a button on top. It's called rudder trim. So, the button, the knob itself, basically that's your rudder trim. I never really use it, but the button on top, that's takeoff trim reset. So this one is important for a cold start. You get APU engine crank, we went through those before. FCS reset, press it right now. So this is one thing, once you have an engine running, you have to press this button. On top of the red switch, we have 4 switches. One of them is guarded. So that's your fuel probe, and that's your fuel tank control as well. It's between the big red covered switch and the throttle grip. So basically this panel is related to fuel. You know, in your mid-flight refueling, you get some controls. Don't worry too much about those. You get fuel dump as well. Fuel dump, it's only useful if you do overweight landing. You're not gonna see them much, but on the left-hand side of the throttle, you have your strobe, your position lights, and your formation lights. The strobe switch is very well hidden, but usually the moment you start getting the jet online, you're supposed to get that switch on to bright or whatever position. This is a, you know, legal thing. But yeah, basically, you know, exterior lights, that's where you control them, along with the keybind that you made for exterior lights. So basically, you put the buttons wherever you want them, and then you toggle using the HOTAS switch. So you can go tactical really quick. On top of the light switches, those are exterior power stuff. You can connect the F-18 to ground power, and you can use those switches to power different systems. Don't bother with them, you can run them at your leisure. On top of the ground power switches, that's an important panel. This is everything that's related to takeoff and landing. So I'm gonna point you to the hook bypass and anti-skid. They're supposed to be in the same. They're either both up or both down. So when you're on field, you want hook bypass to field, and you want anti-skid to on. If you intend to land on a carrier, both of these are going down. So carrier and off. Landing taxi lights, simple enough. Launch bar, that's for carrier takeoff. That's how you flex. By the way, if you end up in a situation where you can't use your nose wheel steering, check the launch bar switch, because when your launch bar goes off, you cannot use nose wheel steering using your rudder pedals. Flap switch, that's your flaps. Jettison, you just read the stations, but basically, left missile rack, right missile rack, those are the cheek stations. Right next to the intakes. Is that right? Yeah. Rack launcher, I don't remember which one this is. This could be countermeasures. I don't remember. Oh no. That's different. Rack launchers is, sometimes you can have like 2 AMRAAMs on the same station. Well, the rack launcher is the rack that holds both of them to the same station. So if you switch all the way to stores, select the right stations and then jettison them, you're gonna keep the rack launchers. So you're gonna have to switch the big button to right launcher and press jettison again to drop those. That's how it works. So yeah, this panel basically takeoff and landing. Simple enough. We're gonna go on the left edge by the big red and black buttons thereabouts. So you got the emergency canopy jettison. That's not really useful for us. The big red button though can be useful in an emergency. So if you need to just clean the jet, you press that big button and everything falls. On top of it, master on, so that's your safety switch essentially. On top of it, that's where you toggle modes. I think the F-15 you can switch from nav mode to air-to-air, and you got a few air-to-air modes, right? Like you have, yeah, in the F-15 I think you can select a couple of different air-to-air modes. It's more or less the same deal. It's just you get air-to-air, air-to-ground, and nav. Right now you're in nav mode. None of them are lit up. When you press either of them, you switch. Fire engine extinguisher. There's a button on top. I don't remember what it does. Probably. As you can tell, I don't really use it much. You can see your master caution is lit up. So the way it works is if you press it once, it clears a master caution, and you press it again, it stacks all the master caution, and you can see all those cautions in the bottom of the left DDI. All the cautions and warnings, they show up in the left DDI at the bottom. So when you get the jet wants to give you some warnings and cautions, that's where they end up.
Oh, fucking hell, I'm dead.
Good. DDI controls. So the top switch off, night, day. So when the luminosity, you know, when it gets dark, you switch it to night. Makes sense. You can play with brightness and contrast as you will. Generally speaking, I play. Sometimes you have to use flare cameras on the F-18. You know, the first thing you do is play with the contrast immediately. And basically buttons all around them is just for options. They're option buttons, actually. At the bottom of the left DDI, we did mention the IFE, so that's your fuel display. You have two fuel quantities. You have internal and total, so when you're running bags, you know, you're gonna see a little disparity there. You can see the throttle. So I'm seeing currently 4,400, I'll say that again, 10,460 pounds of fuel. This is what I see right now. Yeah. On the left side of that, you can see the nozzle position, you can see engine RPM for each of them, temperature, and fuel flow. So, pro tip. When you're on mil power, the nozzles are tight, so those two needles will go. They'll point towards each other. The moment you go past the afterburner detent, they will widen up and they'll both drop down. So it's a visual indication. It's an instrument indication of whether or not you're in afterburner, because you don't have detents. By the way. When I made you do right control enter, you can see the afterburner detent in that little display. So if you push the throttle all the way there, you'll be at mil power. If you push a little bit too far, then you'll end up afterburner and you're gonna burn fuel like a motherfucker. So left DDI, right DDI, they both work the same way, and on top of each you have fire extinguisher for engine fire. Simple enough. The bottom screen you have a few extra things. This one is color, and on top of that, on each top corner you have course and heading switches. Basically you can left right click and hold them Those are for navigation. So basically the heading one gives you a carrot, and then you can use the autopilot to let the aircraft fly a heading. The course, it depends on when you have a waypoint. We'll come to that at some point later. What the fuck is this called? Yeah, the upfront console, that's the big motherfucking thing between all the screens. So, you get keypad, you get autopilot. I'll tell you, can you see AP button? Yeah, so you got AP, that's for autopilot. Once you're flying, you press that, and then you have a bunch of autopilot options. So you get heading, you get course, coupled rather, you get radar and barometric altitude, and you get another one that I don't remember. TACAN, so those are TACAN radios. It's basically a navigation radio. You use TACAN channels to navigate to airfields that have a TACAN beacon or towards the boat. ILS, it's another radio, so those are for localizer and light slope needle. Have you ever heard the expression flying needles? So ILS is in fact only ICLS, so Instrument Carrier Landing System. The F-18 is not compatible with Shora ILS systems. So if you're landing on a runway, you don't have needle. It's that simple. Got that? Data link. I'm gonna teach you how to open it because actually Hans is the one who told me this. But press data link once. After that, you press the on/off button. It's gonna show you on. You press data link again. It's gonna give you extra options. You press on again. Essentially, there's two. You need to turn two things for the data link.
The
So
first thing
basically-
should be the waypoints. You see, interact with the data link waypoints, and the second one should be the display on your radar that you see your friendly and enemy aircraft, which gets spotted by AWACS or by friendlies.
This is how you use mids as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Beacon, I don't even know what it does.
Me too. Cobalt just said, yeah, that's beacon.
That's what I thought. Beacon. It's probably a transponder. Transponder. You get IFF as well. That's identify friend or foe. That's actually a transponder. When I think of it. So you're supposed to turn that on. You get a bunch of switch around on each side of the UFC. That's your radio controls. So you get volume controls. You get underneath the volume knob. You get a channel. And to switch channel, there's a little button underneath the radio display, and you can scroll wheel. You can use the scroll wheel and you switch radio channels using that. So you have volume radio, the channel display, and then you have the volume you have the radio selection knob. So the radio selection knob, you can scroll wheel to select the radio, and you can pull it to select it as an active radio, and that's just for data entry. Underneath all the main buttons, you have a big fucking knob. That's to turn on your heads-up display. I don't know what you're looking at. It should tell you once you hover your mouse over it. Symbology, yeah, HUD symbology brightness display. You had it. It's a big fucking knob. So you just hold left click and drag your mouse up. Yep. A lot of the everything that works with lights. So you know, console lights, your DDIs, your heads-up display. They usually have day and night settings. And it's usually next to the brightness, generally speaking. It's thereabouts. Okay, so we went through the UFC. By the way, UFC, it handles everything that comes in and out of the jet when it comes to information. So radios, data link, waypoints, navigation, it's all there. Everything is on that little thing. So that's why there's so many buttons around it, because it's really dense. Okay, looking at the right, DDI, and then underneath it. Black level, I have no fucking clue. Okay, so if you stop moving right now, I see balance. I think it's left to right volume balance. Not super useful. No one touches that. That's usually when you're trying to listen to one of the two radios. So if you want to mute one, you just swing the balance button, I suppose. The switch next to the balance button, never touched it. The knob next to it, black level, never touched it. The switch to the left of it, day-night, that's your heads-up display, day-night level of brightness. At the very left, you have normal, reject 1, reject 2. This is something you can configure, but generally speaking, no one does it because it's fucking tedious. But basically, once you got the heads-up display running, you can play with that switch, and it just gets some symbology away the further down you switch it. So, you know, if you feel like the heads-up display is too cluttered, you can play with that switch. And you can configure what shows and doesn't show through some setting. And that's not a setting that you do like escape options. It's not that. It's actually you go in the DDI and you play with it. That's why no one plays with it. It's because it never saves. So each time you get a new jet, you have to redo it. So people just deal with it. Okay, we've covered.
I hated Jeff.
Oh, because you have to configure stuff.
Yeah, you have to configure every time your data link. Insert the card and everything. That's fucking tedious.
Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'll take another.
Just go now, Simon. You're ready to fly. But Simon, does it feel actually different coming from the F-15C? Unfortunately, never played that. I'm just waiting for you guys. I'm just coolly sitting on the carrier and looking into the menu, figuring out how the harpoons are working. But you probably still want to wait for the F-15. Oh yeah. Then don't fly the Jeff. Don't fly the Jeff if you wanna fly the F-15 before learning.
Hello?
Because the difference in the Jeff is everything is digital, and the Jeff is way easier to learn because you do everything on your displays. But then going to a plane which has none displays or like doesn't rely on displays, like the Tomcat, it's getting way harder.
He's trying to learn the F-18. Let him.
No.
Don't confuse him too much.
I'm saying he should not pick up the Jeff directly.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't nothing to say about the F-15.
Okay, is
I
Sermon
don't
gone?
get my choice.
Is he AFK?
I think, yeah.
Huh?
Sermon? No,
yeah,
Sermon.
he is.
Hello, Muffin.
Hi.
Sorry you're not part of the discussion.
You're good. I've just been sitting here watching. I was kind of looking at the shit you had on your jet, and I was like, "Oh, you got two 9Ms, you got fucking 6 120s, and you got 4 GBU-12s."
Yeah, he was watching me.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching a Han.
I'm
sorry.
busy doing other things.
But I died and just watching your stream with him and sitting on a carrier doing nothing.
Oh shit, bro, it looks like your resolution is worse than mine.
That's why I'm playing on ultra wide. It just looks for you. I actually have a higher resolution than you if you're playing on 1080.
I think I'm playing. I don't actually know the resolution.
If you're playing on 4K, you're what higher, but I am playing
You are.
on ultra wide, so mine is higher. Spike, do you know how to set up the harpoons, the Maverick harpoons?
No, never used the harpoons.
That's my target currently. I'm nearby sitting on my second screen and watching the menu.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, man.
Trying to figure it out. He's still AFK, I think.
That's all right.
Yeah, no,
Look,
he's back.
welcome back.
And now we get into dogfight. So,
Right. So back to the right DDI. On the right side of it, you have IR cool. Never used that switch. Don't know what it does. Under that, you have HMD. That's the helmet-mounted display. So it's you know, the fancy screen that you wear on your head. So you can. Yep. Go on. Yep.
let's take my
Yeah.
Amazon Prime skin.
Underneath that, yeah, it stops showing once you're close enough to the heads-up display. Underneath that, that's spin recovery. So right-click and then you then flick the switch. So that's when you're in a flat spin. By the way, all military jets are like that. If you see something that's yellow and black, that's usually an emergency thing. So you know,
Or
you got
somebody blinks like master caution, and you have a problem.
underneath the right switch, the right DDI, you get your standby instruments. You got radar altitude. You got your RWR. Fun fact. Yeah. But you got options. Yes, you can. Turn on your bottom display, the knobs at the top. I'll teach you the 3 ways you can turn on. You can see your RWR. You got this tiny ass instrument. You got one that you can set up.
Okay,
We're gonna use the right DDR just for reference.
You press on it. Go down and press on the down on the base of the stick.
Yeah, that's gonna be useful soon. Yep, a bunch of stuff that was hidden, right? Okay, so there's... Yep. So there's one way you can put it on the screen. The problem is you don't have enough screen estate. Once you go air to air, the right screen will always automatically switch to the radar display. And you can try it by using one of the weapon selection switches. You can do it right now, we'll be able to undo it. But you're gonna see it, it's gonna select the weapon, whichever weapon you selected. The right DDI switch to radar display. So this one, if you start switching modes, or if you're actually trying to look for targets, you can't use it for anything other than that. While you're in air-to-air mode, you can press a sensor control switch left, if I recall, and should switch you to azimuth elevation. Yep. Sensor control switch left. So that's going to be your stick hat left. He might not do it though. Okay. So basically, well, we'll come back to that. That's different. On the very left, you can press the A button to go back to nav. So we've gone through the entire left side, went almost all the front side. So underneath the multicolor display, this is all RWR and countermeasures, basically, in general. So defense. Everything defense related is in that area. So you can see the ECM jettison on the right side of that. That's all your buttons for the RWR. So you should have an on-off button on the very right side. So if you click it, it's going to turn on the RWR. Yeah, ALR 67 power, that's the one. So it's going to do. What do you mean, no? It's a black button. No, it's not a knob, it's a button. It's written ALR 67 power on it. You're right next to it, man. You're playing with a knob, it's literally next to it. No, to the left of it. It's a button, it's a black button. It's well concealed. There's a bunch of buttons around there. Okay, okay. Okay, you got it. So it did a doo-doo-dee, right? Press bit. Yep. What do you mean fail? Yep. So basically, this so bit stands for built-in test. You got a bunch of these bit thingies all around. You can do one for a lot of things.
Where are you watching this?
Look. Oh, he's not a DCS boy.
Because I'm hearing bit, and I was like, you failed a bit test? I'm gonna fucking pull up the TO real quick.
His training's coming back to him.
Dude, I know.
This is what the military does to you. Training.
I hear bit failed, and my mind instantly cringes. I'm like, "Bleh!"
I'm not fucking surprised. I love hearing it though, Muffin. It's great. So yeah, bit stands for built-in test. So for the RWR, when you press it, it just goes through. It just tests itself. So the tones you're hearing is all the different tones you're gonna hear. Yeah, that's a display test. and the last one you hear it goes beep 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 beep. That's when there's a missile launched your way. When you hear this, is like figure out
You're
where
dead.
the fuck it's coming from.
If you hear that, you're dead.
No, you're not dead. You can avoid it.
I mostly die.
Yeah. To be fair, me too. Me too, man.
Because when it gets fast beep, the rocket is mostly halfway through or close.
But the thing, what I've started to notice when trying to defend from missiles, you need to get hot. Basically, you need to go head on, and you need to time your dodging and your countermeasures right.
Yeah, you do time that, but how do you time it? That's always the thing.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of perspective. Once you get a visual with the missile, it's just okay. What kind of distance is it from? When you stop, I'm using labels because stuff is hard to spot from a distance in VR.
Sorry, interrupting. What was the glide slope for carrier landing again? Was it 3?
Yeah, it's always 3.
Okay.
Everything is 3 degrees.
I'm starting my second attempt. I was too late on the first one, and had to go through.
You're doing
But-
carrier
but-
landing?
Yeah, I'm practicing it in the multiplayer server.
Are you comfortable, by the way, flying on speed?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, well, you gotta master that. This is critical. If you don't get this right, you'll never land on a boat. So
Yeah.
you better get used to that. You gotta be serious for once, man. I know you're not used to landing the F-18, but man, this is part of it. Okay, sorry, man. Back to you. So yeah, ALR 67 when it shows on, you press the bit test to make sure it's right. Usually you don't need to do the bit test, but that's it. Switch underneath ECM. Once the jet is live, so it has an engine running, it goes to receive. Still receive. The thing is, the jet needs power, so it gets its power from its engine. So when I say one engine, basically the thing is, once you get an engine running, you get every system, you get all your sensors up, you start getting, you start turning stuff on. You can start the second engine, but while the spool is up, you already have engine power. So you can, you can turn on the ECM, you can turn on the RWR, the dispenser, and all of this stuff while it spools up. So it just speeds up the process. Yeah, ECM switch goes to receive, and I never really touch it, honestly. I just don't know how to use it. Put it in receive, that's the end of it. On the left, you have the dispenser. Off means you have no countermeasures. None. On means you have programs available. So whenever you use the countermeasure switch on your throttle, it just starts the program. It's a bit wasty. The way I run it, I go all the way to bypass, and I just use a manual. If I know what threat I'm facing, if it's a radar-guided missile, then I know I'm pushing it forward. The way I see it is, so flares are for heat, and the only heat source on your jet is in the back. So you just press back. Radar wants to lead you, so you just press forward. And if you're not sure, you just go forward, back. So I just go manual. That's the end of it. You can go on and just press it, but the thing is, you have a very limited amount of countermeasures. So if you go through them too quick, you end up out
Usually
of
you have
them.
60 flares, 60 shafts with the normal configuration.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can go through that very quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're out, your only recourse is maneuvering. And that requires skill.
Skill.
Sorry, what?
It's my basement.
What'd you say, sir, man? Off. It's off. It's off on bypass. Oh, cabin pressure? That's oxygenation. It's a display for that. Well, the real jet, yeah. I don't know if you can do that. Yeah, the switch works, but it doesn't necessarily do anything. Yeah, DCS makes a point of making every fucking switch work. Doesn't mean it functions. I'm seeing very zoomed in. Okay.
And landed. Perfect.
You have a standby compass on the right side of the canopy, basically the big arch. If you follow the arch, you're gonna see a standby compass. We're gonna keep going from there. Underneath it, you're gonna see a big hook lever, so that's for the tail hook. On the right side of that, that's your that's your wing position. Sorry, what? Yeah, wing position. You want to play with it right now? You can use the scroll wheel to pull the lever back. That's gonna unlock the wheels, unlock the wings. And after that, if you want to fold them, you just left click, right click to move it. Yeah, you can look at them if you want. They're pretty slow. They don't drop like a fucking brick. Back to the wing lever. On the left side, that's your standby radar altimeter. There's a little knob on it. So if you scroll wheel it, you can adjust at which point it activates. For carrier ops, it's 70 feet. For field op, sorry. Okay, the wing lever. On the,
You just pressed it.
yeah, put it on spread. Don't push it. Don't push it just yet. If you push it too soon, it's not gonna lock. Yeah, keep it.
You push it at the end, then it locks.
Yeah, when the wings are into position, then you push them.
If you push it too early, you sometimes get problems with your trim. Even if you
Interesting.
have on carrier, which I had.
Look at your wings, and when they're in position, you push them.
Yeah. If you push it a bit too early, it's mostly.
I'd recommend you pull it and push it right now. Just do it. Pull,
Yep.
push, just in case.
Then you're perfectly fine.
Okay. Once that's done, now you should see the radar altimeter. So you got a standby indicator there. You got a little knob on it, so you can adjust at which point it alerts you. So for carrier ops, it's 80 feet. For field ops, it's 300 feet. And this indicator will start working at 5,000 feet AGL. Do you know the difference between AGL and ASL? At sea level, at ground level. Yep. So if we still keep going down, you have hydraulic pressure. So if you have hydraulics failure, that's where it's gonna show. The jet will also give you a master caution for hydraulic pressure. Battery level. So if your battery is depleted, that's your indicator. You have left and right generators. That's the electric generators. So you can manually control them. This middle switch, that's a battery. You already found it. Starting there, most of the switch are miscellaneous. There's a handful of them that you will use consistently, but most of them you just don't use it. like, what the fuck is that? Like the left switch next to the big button. I don't know what it does. Actually, this panel is for heat control. The one labeled bleed air. You don't touch it, but when you do your fire tests, you need to cycle this thing. So if you don't do fire tests, you don't need to touch it. But sometimes the jet will prompt you if you get engine damage to play with that. So, do you know what bleed air is? Okay. Here's the thing. There's a system of high pressure air around the jet. Some of it goes through, for air conditioning, but most importantly, basically, at the front stage of the engine, it's called a compressor. And basically, what comes out of the compressor, that compressed air, that's bleed air. And basically, both engines are connected through bleed air channels. So say you get an engine failure on one side, well, you can use bleed air to restart it. So it's basically just the compressor stages that are connected together, and they're connected to other systems in the jet. So wherever you need high pressure air, that's where you get it. Anti-ice, self-explanatory, is just defrost. P2O2, when ice ends up in there, it ends up giving you false warnings. The engine, that's you want to avoid getting ice in the engines. I've never seen anyone play with those switches in DCS, but in real life they matter. The panel underneath the bleed air switch, you get a bunch of buttons. Those are lighting switches. So you get console. You can play with them right now if you want. Consoles, instrument switch. It's daytime, you're not gonna see them much. Floodlights. Yeah. By the way, light test switch. If you hold it, you're gonna see every light show up in the jet. Every one of them, all the warning lights. So that's a test switch, by the way. Oh. At the very right of that panel, you're gonna see mode, NVG, night, day. That's an important switch if you end up doing nighttime ops.
Yeah, no.
So basically, you just select the right spot. It's literally what it is. Fucking hell, man, you're fucked every. So keep it at day, but you put it in the right position. Because here's the thing, if you put it to night, and then you equip a night vision goggle, everything will be washed out in the cockpit. So when you push it to NVG, then you'll be able to see the switches, and it'll make sense once you try it out. If you get to the beginning of a 4YA server, like their training servers, it's usually nighttime, and you can make use of that. I don't use the NVG, even at that time, because the night doesn't last long enough. Like, by the time you get set up and you take off and you get into a fight, you don't really need that. And they fully set up the aircraft for you, so you don't need to touch any of the light switches. So, going from the light switches, the lights panel, underneath, that's an important panel. This one is mostly used for startup, but there's two important switches. Well, they're all important, in fact. LST and FLIR basically have a laser pointer in the jet, and it's visible through NVGs. Keep it off. But basically, wherever you have a target designation thingy, like when you have a target in your navigation system, it's gonna point there. So you're gonna see a big beam of light from your jet to where you're pointed. So it's a designator kind of thing. But the thing is, you have a night vision goggle, you see it. The two other switches are for the FLIR pod. So what I do is when I start the jet, after I have after I've got a loadout and I have a flare pod, I get this switch to standby. I usually go standby, and whenever I need it, I just flick it to on. Going
you can
from
just click it on.
yeah, but I don't, and it's just a realism thing. It's just how I roll.
Yeah.
But basically, going from standby to on is instantaneous. Going from off to anywhere else, basically the sensor needs to warm up. So it takes time.
2 minutes 30 or 3 minutes, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it takes a long ass time. If you have to drop a bomb in the next minute or so, you're fucking too late. So you put it standby, and worst case scenario, just flick it to on, right? Or you could just go straight to on. The LTDR, that's a laser designator. So basically, this is how you can designate targets. You can paint targets. Have you played Arma by any chance? Laser designator, you know, you get the goggles. That's what it is. The main difference between Arma and DCS is that DCS models it properly, and you have to use channels. The two big knobs underneath, the left one is for radar. So basically, when you start the jets, it goes to operational, OPR. The only moment you get it to standby is when you do mid-air refueling. Anywhere else, you put it to operational. When you have weight on wheels, so it's when you're on the tarmac, the radar just sciences itself. So you don't need to worry about radiation from the nose cone. You know, just giving cancer to the crewmen. Right, Muffin?
Yep. There's a
So-
big warning.
Yeah. So when you got weight on wheels, it doesn't matter. But it's only when you're doing mid-air refueling. You put that switch to standby, or there's another option in the LDR, in the attack radar, but don't worry about that. The right one, that's an important one. So that's your INS system, your navigation system. So what you're gonna do is, you see you got a little rectangle. So wherever you're setting up from, so carrier vessel or ground, you're gonna select that. So I'm gonna teach you how to do the INS alignment now. So you're on the ground, so I want you to right click the switch to ground. After that, I want you to go to the multi-purpose display. And you're gonna see STD heading, something like that. Should be a button at the bottom. I just want you to press it. I'm gonna have to wait because I need to see it now. Yeah, the bottom screen. So the left and right one are called DDIs. The bottom one is the MCPD. The MPCD, sorry. Now I can't see what's written in display. So what I'm gonna do is, bottom left of the display, use the down arrow for gain. Just hold it and keep it all the way down. Okay, you can read the display now? Okay, can you see STD HDG? Yeah, press that. Now you're gonna see underneath your aircraft symbol, you're gonna see something's going on. That's the calibration. So whenever it's good, it should point to quality 0.5. Okay. When it says okay, that means the alignment is complete. Are you having fun right now? Because this is what DCS is. By the way, on 4YA, the training servers, you can get a jet that's hot started, so you don't do any of this stuff. You can also auto start. I don't know about that. See,
There's an option for Windows Home to auto start. Nobody told you that.
I'm gonna research it just for fun.
You don't know spec?
No, I don't. I'm not aware.
You can press Windows Home, and Windows Home is for the auto start procedure, and Windows and N is for the auto shutdown procedure.
Oh, this one's so much better.
But there's sometimes at some planes when they come out, there's something's missing.
Yeah.
But in the F-18 now, it's as good as you do it on your own.
Yeah.
But
Some
you can
things
be
are going to
faster.
be missing if you show up on the 4wire servers and you just want to get a hot start in a jet and you just want to go. There's a couple of things you're going to do. Data link will be off by default. Well, basically all your radios and data link will be off. So if you want to configure that, you're going to have to do it. Your RWR, very important, will be off. So you need to think about getting it on.
Yeah.
I got caught a couple times early on. And I'm sure Hans still gets caught by that.
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, I'm seeing your stream right now. It says quality 0.5 okay. So I want you to go back to the INS switch. And you want to right click to IFA. Once you've done that, the alignment, the INS alignment is complete and you can navigate.
Welcome to DCS.
I'm not gonna touch into that. You're gonna, bro. This is DCS. You're gonna learn, man. This isn't Battlefield, man. So what I've done right now is just a cockpit overview. So we're gonna start over and we're gonna go through it very quickly this time. I've explained you everything, but now we're gonna go through it quick. But you're not done with the takeoff checklist. So let's start back at the very left. Hey, it's the first time. Once you know about it, it gets easier.
I learned that in 10 hours YouTube videos and manuals, and I don't even know everything. What's back told you.
I don't know everything either, man. I can get the jabbed up. Yeah. So we're gonna. Do you remember what the OBOG switch is? The OBOG switches, onboard oxygen generation system. Okay, I want you to look at that. I'm gonna have to wait for the stream to catch up. Okay, I'm starting to see it now. So, in this corner of the jet, you get the OBOG switch and the volume switches. That's the most important part for these two panels. Up front of that, you get rudder trim, takeoff trim push button. Press it right now because that's a takeoff checklist item. When the jet is started, you need to get the flaps to half and then press the takeoff rudder trim. We'll come back to that. APU engine crank, we've been through that. Fuel panel, right behind the throttle. On the left side of the throttle, those are your exterior lights. Remember your exterior lights keybind, your bind. You can try it right now. If you just flick it, you're gonna see the little pinky switch go around. In front of the lights panel, you get a ground power panel. We don't use it. Next, where there's a big yellow lever, that's everything takeoff and landing related. So flaps, gears, anti-skid, and all this stuff. All of them are checklist items, but right now you want flaps to half. But I recommend try using your keybinds. Just cycle them. The switch needs to be in the middle. So you take off with half flaps, you land on full. Actually, I'm gonna tell you where the switch needs to be. So yeah, you can do left-right click, but the thing is, once you're actively trying to land, you're gonna use the key. You're gonna use the buttons instead. So I'm just gonna tell you where all the switches needs to be. So hook bypassed, wherever appropriate. Landing taxi light, your discretion. Nobody gives a shit. Anti-skid, same position as hook bypass. They're brother and sisters. Flaps, half. Jettison, safe. Parking brake, make sure it's vertical and pulled. The parking brake, very important for the INS alignment. If you forget that step, you won't be able to align the INS. It turns into a shit show. You're gonna respawn the jet and try again. Gear lever, down. Okay, we're gonna move on to the IFE. So that's engine fuel status. You wanna know what the engines are doing? This is how you know about it. Remember your afterburner detent. So that's right control enter. Yeah, there's a little button for that. On the left side of the IFE, you get 5 buttons. So center, left inner, right inner, left outer, right outer. Those are your stations. So when you press them, they will be selected to be able to be jettisoned. Those switches are safe. The way you drop tanks is you select the appropriate stations, you flick the master arm on, and then you get the big red button at the bottom. You rotate it to stores and then press jettison. Actually, we can practice it right now. Do you have anything on your wings right now? Okay, let's say you have 2 tanks. So what you want to do is select left inner, right inner. Yeah, we'll do it right now since you're not dropping anything. So, yep. So now you have the 2 inner wing pylons selected. Master arm on. So that's the switch on top next to the DDI.
That's also an important step for me.
Yeah. I know, I forget it myself. Then right click all the way to select jettison to stores. Yes. You need the master arm. So basically, now what you've done, you selected left inner, right inner. Master arm is on. You take the big gray button, you switch it all the way to stores, and then you press jettison. And that works for 5 pylons. So you got a center pylon between the 2 engines, and the 4 pylons on the wings. If you want to jettison stuff, you have a few more, but those are the main ones. You got 2 wingtip pylons for sidewinders, and you get 2 cheek pylons, so those are on each side of the engine. You can either get 2 AMRAMs or 1 AMRAM and a T-pod. There's a button for that actually. Oh yeah, look at the master arm. See the big yellow button? Yeah, that cleans you up. No, this provides control to you. Yeah. Sometimes I take the time, but when you get more than 1 drop tanks, you can control fuel flow between each of them. So I use, in the fuel panel, I just control, I stop fuel flow from 1 tank and I override the other. And when it's empty, I punch it out and then I start fuel flow from the one that's remaining. There's it depends on the flap switch, and that's a step that's only important when you're landing. When you're taking off, the only thing you need to remember is how much degrees of pitch trim do you need, and that depends on aircraft weight. It starts at 45 pounds. That's 15 degrees. At 49,000 pounds, it's 19 degrees. It's kind of a range. So you start at 15, and it's really hard to get the F-18 to 5,000 pounds. So, you know, you get the idea? 15, 19, that's the numbers you gotta remember. I'll tell you where to get those. Okay, we've been through the landing panel, jettison. Okay, at the very left side of the DDI, you get master arm, you got your master modes as well. DDI, self-explanatory. Right DDI, same deal as the left DDI. They're gonna do some weird stuff as you switch modes and stuff. It is in the nature of the F-18. I'm gonna let you learn those by yourself. Up front console, that's the big motherfucker in the middle with the keypad. So, radios, data links, transponders. It's all in there. Everything's in there. So, radios, transponders, and data. You also control the heads-up display from there. Yep. Starting from the right DDI, underneath, you got all your standby instruments. You get 5 of them there, and there's 1 or 2 more next to the hook lever. Yep. On the right side of the DDI, you have helmet-mounted display brightness. So that's how you turn it on and off. I want to see the right console. By the way, the way the controls are worked out, the consoles are horizontal and the vertical panels are, well, vertical.
Yep.
So if you're looking to assign a button to something specific, that's how you find it. I'm waiting for the stream to show me the right console. So on the top you got battery, you found that. After that, some basic controls. After that you got lights. After that you got T-pod controls, radar, and INS. And we're done. So, I'm going to have you go through, actually I'm gonna pull my checklist. I'm actually gonna send it to you. I have a really good checklist for that. Hans, do you have a checklist?
On my keyboard, not yet. No.
Okay. Let me go find it real quick.
I have it from my Jeff, but not for the F-18.
Doc? No. Oh, maybe I put it boards. Hold on, I need to find it real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Wait.
Yeah, you're not the one waiting for it though.
Maybe.
Where the fuck did I put this?
So, what are you playing, Muffin Man?
I am playing a game called Timberborn.
Ah, not bad. How about some League of Legends altogether?
Oh, dude, look, I play League, okay? I'm just gonna say that right off the bat.
Yes, me too.
I just play ARAMs.
Oh God.
I don't
I
have the
would-
time to dedicate to it anymore.
I would like to ban you from this Discord.
I don't
League-
play as much as I used to, so I don't really find the time to be able to play a full game.
A League player and then Aram?
Okay, I think that's where it is.
I know I'm disgusting. Hate me all you want.
That's the worst fucking game mode in the game. Even the
Look,
free
I'm not good at the game
mode was
anymore.
better.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Man. You're below Cobra
Keyboard,
for me now.
I got it.
Mother man, below Cobra now.
Okay. So, before
you're
start
laughing.
checklist, parking brake already set. Anti-skid appropriate, it should be on. So that's landing panel. Yeah, Aceron safe. Wing fold, make sure it's proper. Check battery, check brake pressure. Fuck the fire test, APU already done. So we're now at the start checklist. Canopy already closed. Strobe light. The way you find it is you just hover your mouse next to the throttle and eventually you're gonna find it.
Oh, I understand. Stroke light.
It sucks, that's how it does. That's how it is.
No.
If your engines are on, no. Because what do you think is gonna happen when you push a throttle forward? Is he doing it? Okay. Strobe light, okay. Canopy, strobe light, done. We've cranked the engine, throttle started. Bleeds, cycle. We don't need to do it because we didn't do the fire tests. But if we do the fire tests, there's a big bleed error knob that you need to do. Is just right click, right click, right click, right click. It's gonna turn a quarter turn at a time. You can even do it right now if you want. Actually do it. Just because I want you to know where it is. And I want you to know how to handle it. Tell me when it's done. Perfect. Light test. So the little light test switch told you about that lights up the cockpit like a Christmas tree. You just flick that on and you check all the lights. You don't need to do that. Lights as required. So that's position lights, formation lights. You put them wherever you need them. Radios. So that's IFF, TACAN, ICLS, data link, beacon. You just set all these up. In our case, we're gonna press IFF and turn it on. Okay, quick tutorial on how to turn on radios. You press the appropriate radio and then you press on off. You just hold it for a second. Just press, release. UFC. Told you. Radios. So radios, transponder, and data link. Yeah, you pressed IFF. Now I want you to press on off. It's on the very right. It's one of the same buttons. Now I should say... Sorry, what? Okay, so you press the IFF and then you press the on-off button. Okay, it should say XP on. You see that? Okay, press IFF again. Do you see XP? It should be on top of the keypad. Very close. Okay, you see XP? Okay, you press the on-off button. You hold it a bit, and then it's gonna say XP on. You don't press it long enough. That's why I'm telling you. You press it, and then you release it. You press it for a second. Press the radio again. So IFF and then press on. Hold on. Is XP good, actually?
It's default when every server hot start, it's on XP.
Yeah, but it's a cold start, so I'll tell you
I
what.
can tell you if that's good or not. I don't use this option anyway. I use the data link in order to get friendlies or not friendlies.
Okay, press DL, and then just try and turn it on. I think this one tells you on off. Okay, I think IFF will just say XP.
Yeah.
I think that's how
Probably.
it works. I'm not entirely sure. So basically, that checklist item is just you sort out your radios. Radios, left DDI, nah. PCD, just a bit, HUD, on. It's done. INS, we've done it. Engine crank left, that's done. FCS reset, do you remember the location of that button? It's gonna be on the left side. It's by the rudder trim. Press it again. Well, we haven't set anything yet, so it doesn't matter how many times we reset it. Once we start playing with flaps and setting up takeoff trim, if we do it again, then we're gonna redo these steps. Not a problem. So, FCS reset is done. Would you like to see the FCS built-in test? It's actually kind of cool. Takes a bit. Okay, I want you to put flaps to auto, so you can use your control binds. Just double tap it, also put the switch to auto. After that, grab the right DDI. At the very bottom, take the center bottom. It's called menu. Press it twice. It's gonna go to the attack page, then the support page. Yep. So the bottom one at the center. I'm seeing delays. On the top right, you should see an option checklist. Select the appropriate button. No, sorry. Hold on. No, you're looking for bit. Built-in test.
Top corner. Top middle.
Do you remember the keybind for the FCS bit, Hans?
No.
Actually, if you open your... do you have... can you check it for me? It's actually pretty easy. I think it's Y or thereabouts. Yeah, stay there for... Sirman, stay there for now. I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna find it real quick.
It's ancient English shit.
Yeah, it's Y. Okay. So what you want to do is press FCS MC. Gonna be on the left side. So, yeah. So basically what we're doing is a built-in test for the flight control system. There's gonna be... I'm just waiting for you because I need the queue. I don't do it that often. I'm just waiting to see you do it. There's a couple second delay. Yeah, you just click on F. Okay, so what you need to do, there's the FCS button. You hold that and press Y on your keyboard, yanking. And once you do that, now press F2 and start looking at the aircraft and what it's doing. You hold FCS, press Y. You need to do both. There's a switch in the cockpit. I'm not making you do that switch. So you hold the DI button, press Y, and then start. Yep, press. You're seeing it doing it. So that's what I want to show you. It's not the real pilots would do it because it's part of the checklist. I'm seeing the button. Alright, we will get it. Full balls, we did it. That's the battery switch at the left. You forget that switch, you just we're gonna turn on the radar. OPR. That's on the right side. Yep. Wing fold, spread and lock. FCS built-in test already done. After we do an FCS test, we need to reconfigure the aircraft. So you don't need to do that. You just needed to do it before the test. What you do is flaps to half, and then the rudder button, you press the takeoff trim button. It's the little nipple that sticks on top. You know the rudder trim button? Yeah, there's a little button on top of it. You press that once. Flag wing fold. Recheck wing fold. Make sure it's spread and locked. We continue. We uncage the standby attitude thingy. So, standby instruments. There, you should have a horizontal situation indicator. So it's going to be next to the RWR. There's a little knob next to it. You just scroll wheel down to unlock it. Just one scroll. Yeah, you see a little flag next to it? Yeah. Perfect. We set the altimeter. We're on field, so 300 feet. Standby instruments is going to be on the right side. Yeah, it says scroll wheel. I hate this fucking button, man. After that, HSI, care, Joint Warfare. Okay. Hundreds. In fact, you can see at the very top, you see 50. That's times 100 feet, so 5,000. I told you earlier the limit of the radar altimeter is 5,000. And by the way, that limit points straight down. So if you roll 90 degrees, the radar altimeter isn't going to read anything. Okay, 4-down check. The 4-down check is for all your defensive systems. So ALR 67 power, bit. We've done that. So make sure to check it's on. Dispenser, so that's your countermeasures. Make sure it's in the right spot. So wherever you want it. And the EC, it's at the bottom. It's underneath the bottom screen. All your defenses are there. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the 4-down check done. We do. Wait, 1, 2. Okay, that's a weird. Okay. Next thing we check the INS. Make sure it's on nav and it's properly aligned. We've done that already. We arm the ejection seat. So on the right side of the seat, there's a yellow lever. Make sure it's down. It's a little plate. Yeah, it's yellow and black. Yep. You can read safe when it's in the wrong position. By the way, this switch, when it's this big switch, when it's on safe, and you try and take off, you know, you do your power, it's gonna do until you check seat. Okay, we're gonna check on the heads-up display. We're gonna look for an indication for NWS. That's nose wheel steering. You got it? Perfect. I'm gonna tell you how to use nose wheel steering. When you get weight on wheels, it turns on automatically. What's it called? The flappy switch will turn off the nose wheel steering. So if you do modifier and bottom stick button, it's gonna disable now nose wheel steering. Try it out. You see it? Yeah. Now press your stick down button again. It just should show up. Now if you hold it, you're gonna see NWS high. Yeah. So that's for carrier ops.
This is important. It's
Yeah.
just you're just way better at turning right and left.
This behavior changes depending on whether or not your wings are unlocked, by the way.
Yep.
So if you unlock your wings, you get nose wheel steering high, it's gonna stay there. You're not gonna have to hold it. We're gonna continue with the checklist. Winfo, spread and lock, we check it. Takeoff trim. So I'm gonna teach you how to figure out the aircraft weight. You're gonna grab one DDI, you wanna go to the support page. You've done it before, I want you to do it again. You got it? Okay. I want you to go to checklist. So you get a basic checklist in there. It doesn't fucking matter, but you see the aircraft weight. So the number you need to remember is 45,000 pounds, 15 degrees. If you press checklist, you should be able to see it. It's okay. Yeah, you're a bit low on fuel because you've been burning for an hour. Yeah. We'll tell you what. Yeah, you're right. We'll get you some extra fuel. But yeah, actually, let's do that right now because we need to take. We need to set up takeoff trim. So what I want you to do is modifier and comm switch. COM 1, COM 2 doesn't matter. And then you just rearm. I'd say get yourself a centerline tank and get the fuel to 100% and refuel and rearm. Well, I told you earlier, like, past 49,000 pounds is really hard. I've seen 49,000 pounds, but like it's 3 bags and you get like heavy ass missiles like harms and shit. Yeah, let's go with the 1 bag.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
Make sure your fuel's at 100%. Correct. Yeah, that's how you do it with the F-15 on the server. The jet is started already, right? No.
No,
Well, it's a simpler
low
aircraft to start up.
The low fidelity ones are not started. You need to start them first. You need the canopy open and start engine this like 10, 5.
Oh yeah, it's an FC3 thing. I'm sorry, I don't fly the F-18, man. So, you heard rearming, refueling? Yep. It refuels first and then it rearms. So, keep checking the aircraft weight and
Flight controls.
turn one
Flight
on.
controls.
Can I this? All right. Well, it's 3850. You're fucking light, man. Yeah, I know. Go 15 degrees.
Rearming complete.
You might. Yeah, just okay. Now what you want to do is you use the trim switch. So hold modifier and then use the stick hand. Yeah, you're perfect. You're done. I'm checking. By the way, when we're done with all that, go back to DCS, boys. I gave you all my checklists. So you get startup shutdown, and you get carrier recovery stuff. Okay, so before takeoff is done, right now we're ready to taxi. So the right way to do it, you want to do COM1 to open the menu. Okay, you want to just go for it? You know what, Eric? Alright, just get on the fucking runway. Let's go. The calls will handle themselves. Just go easy. If you see the airspeed indicator on the left side of the heads-up display? Oh,
150.
no, you don't even rotate.
Oh,
This thing at 200 knots will just lift itself up.
yeah. This is right.
So, yeah, just make your way to a runway. I'm going to go grab another drink. Be right back.
No, you always get a master caution. Master caution is off.
Okay, I'm back. Sir, man, tell me when you're lined up and ready for takeoff.
Don't get too fast on taxi strip. If you get over 70 knots, you are out of the server. You get kicked. So
Yeah,
be
like a
gentle
fucking
on.
chump.
Be gentle on the.
Yeah, what I wanted to
taxiway.
say, by the way, sir, man, if that airspeed indicators comes alive while you're on the taxiway, you fucked up a long time ago. Take it easy, man. Just learn to taxi the aircraft. Take it easy. Just start doing rudder. That's it. Hans,
Yeah.
suggestion. I'm going to try and teach Sir Man to do on-speed AOA. I know you're not familiar with it.
And
I'm
what
saying
are you talking
maybe
about?
what I'm saying is you should try and pay attention. It's a learning experience, man. I'm offering you to do whatever the fuck you want.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What are you guys up to?
Spike is teaching 70 A-18.
Oh,
You also have.
Oh, you're a
Wait,
DCS
did
boy
you-
too. Let's go. I
did you
didn't know
buy
that.
fucking... Did you buy it?
No,
No,
he's testing it. You also have it? Some,
No. No.
What do you play?
Yeah, I'm good. My fucking brain is not ready for that.
For DCS?
Yeah.
Hop on, it will be nice. Trust me.
Okay, sorry, man. I just saw you unbind the zoom view. Is that right? Okay.
Oh.
If you ram to, you get
Sounds-
indicate from the server. So don't worry about that.
Brake check him. And go ahead. Yep, it's gonna be you soon.
Don't
Oh,
turn
I just
too
saw
hard-
you
don't
brake
turn-
checking.
But don't turn too hard also.
See, this is why you don't do stuff on live servers. You fucking donkey.
Don't brake
Sir, man. One thing you should know about DCS that I don't think you've fully appreciated yet.
You know.
It's first and foremost a study sim. You've got to study, and it takes a long time, and you learned a lot. All right. So this is what you're getting into if you want to go on full fidelity models.
Yeah.
This is the game.
What about full infidelity models, huh?
Shut up.
You shut up.
I'm Peter, shut up. It's
Well, you're getting close.
Hans, you upshut.
No.
I mean, let's be real, sir, man. It's really fucking difficult to learn like a military grade jet. Be real. Or what's just even a normal one is fucking hard. So imagine one with weapons and defenses, right? Oh, this guy's fucking mad. I just saw one guy overfly you.
I cannot even weapons yet.
Okay. Please stop the jet because you have a master caution. And I'm reading parking brake.
Oh, you didn't have the parking brake.
God
I
damn it,
didn't.
Hans.
I never used the parking brake.
God damn it, Hans. Fucking open down, dude.
And now you oversped the gear and flaps.
Hey, alright boys, I was just stopping by, say hello.
Yeah, you
Well-
went too quick. I told you to line up and then tell me when you were ready, and you just fucking took off. That's why you gotta listen to me, man. A perfect time. So if you look at the outside of the aircraft, look at the belly, you're probably gonna see ripped up landing gear doors and shit. Could be. I would take a look. By the way, let's not go ham. Unless you intend to punch out of this jet. Oh no! Doors are still up. Damn it. Looks like you got off lucky. But yeah, when you started taxiing, you forgot the parking brake. Is that a checklist item? Let me go check.
Yes, sure, check this.
That could have been one of those actually. It was. Brake off. All right. Sir, man, would you like to know how to land this thing?
Say no. Say
Because that's where we're at.
no. No counts the first thing.
I don't think you quite realize the grasp. I don't think you quite grasp the extent you're gonna learn to get this thing going. It's
Okay, let's say that way. I suspect.
well, that's what it is.
Simon, Spike told me also how to land like him, but I don't do that. I sometimes
He just
manage
punches out.
I sometimes manage what he tries to teach me, and it's fucking very. In the end, to just fly on speed and just trim, and not even use your joystick to land, helps you go other places, because this thing you can just crash on the runway and land. You can land it, but if you have like a gentle plane, that doesn't work. So learning is hard, and I know, but it's fundamentally different. It's fundamentally different from the rockets.
Okay, there's something you need to understand is that I don't know your background, and my background, okay, before I started playing the F-18, I have no fucking clue. I've never flown a plane like this seriously, so I had to learn by myself, and there's some lessons that I've learned myself. I had to figure out some stuff, so I'm not sure I am. I'm just trying to succeed. I'm not. I'm flicking shit. Yeah, but you're not gonna have fun if your RWR is off because you didn't bother turning it on. You didn't know it existed in the first place, and you keep getting shot. And here's the thing: every fucking switch I had you turn on, you needed it. It's not like, you know. Oh, you don't need to do all that. Like, you can just... Nobody... Like, if you... No, but... The A-18c stuff, sometimes it's needed. When you try and land on a boat, you have to do it. And the reason is just because it's scripted. And it's kind of done. But the thing is really fucking simple. You just do this, select the airport, and go inbound. And it does all the calls for you. The only thing you have to select is inbound. Or, you know, ready for taxi, you just do the steps, right? It's a couple calls, but it's just that it scripts stuff properly. And the game is coded so that you can do these things. It's actually highly simplified. And I made a mention to you, just in case you wanted to have them done, but you didn't want one, so fair enough. But now here's the thing, I'm asking you if you want to learn to fly the aircraft on speed, because the way you're flying the aircraft and the way you're going to fly the aircraft and landing will be radically different. It'll behave completely differently. So if you don't want to land the aircraft, just, rearm, take off, and just go kill some shit. Learn to kill some shit, go. But if you want to land with this thing, you're gonna have to learn how it behaves. So it's up to you. You can stop there if you want. Yeah, okay, so I did mention earlier the way the aircraft behaves will change depending on the flap switch. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, well, the thing is, when you're trying to land, you're gonna drop that flap switch to full, and the aircraft will fly very differently. And the thing is, you gotta learn to do it if you want to land the aircraft. So now the question becomes, do you want to land the F-18? Do you want to land with the F-18? Because I'm telling you, what you've been doing with the F-15 isn't applicable to the F-18. Or I would expect so. Not to the F-18. I know, this is why I want to explain it to you. Because it doesn't apply to it. Not quite. You gotta trim the aircraft and you gotta learn how the controls affect your flight path. Ask Hans how I tried to teach him to do on-speed AOA and how it panned out.
You can do that the way I did it at the F-15, or we both do it at the F-15C, but sometimes you just will not succeed. Your plane will drift left or right, and your wheel's gonna pop every time. Really every time.
No, so see, it's not that it's complicated, but I gotta explain it to you, and I'm gonna suck at it. So, you know how you're currently flying the aircraft? Wherever you point it, it's gonna fly there, right? Well, once you go down under 270 knots, which is the overspeed limit for gear and flaps, once you drop that flaps to full, it's not gonna fly the same. It's not gonna point wherever you want it to. So, actually, if you want to try it yourself, give it a shot. So go to like 200 knots, and then drop the flaps. Don't worry about the gear just yet. It's just gonna add extra drag, and it's not really gonna actually. Yeah, drop both of them. Just give it a shot, just for fun. You have 6,000. Actually, you have 5,000 pounds of fuel, so you're low, but you're probably gonna have to punch out. But don't worry about it. But yeah, just give it a shot. Just try to keep the aircraft airborne. Just remember, with your current weight, your landing speed is probably going to be in the neighborhood of 130, 140 knots. If you go lower than that, the aircraft is going to start falling. It might not stall, but it's going to fall, and it's going to be hard to recover. Sorry, what? Don't worry about landing. I just want you to control the aircraft. I don't know, I don't find you very stable yet. You're falling and then you're going up, and now you're starting to fall, really. You know, when I see that velocity factor flicker, that means the nose is way too far from it. Drop the gear. I'm seeing you doing some forward stick a lot, and Oh, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing your controls right now, and I'm seeing the stick being pushed forward. What? Because I see the diamond being pushed forward. Now it's mostly center, but no, we haven't. Are your flaps still down? I see stand position at 0.
Well, I'm gonna head out and go watch a movie and finish building some models.
See you, Muffin.
Have a good one.
I don't know, maybe you catch it better than I do. And the reason Hans doesn't is because he was in the same boat as he's in the same boat as I was. It could be something like that. Is this... Are you fucking... you going for 400 knots? Yeah, maybe you have more experience than I do and you catch this shit better than I do. I don't know, man. Because this is a concept that I could not wrap my head around for the longest time.
Check gear, check gear.
Okay, drop the gear because I want you to see the E bracket. Are you familiar with this thing? That's the angle of attack indicator. Unless you're crashing. Okay. Okay, keep the airspeed under 270 knots, just in case, and drop the gear. I have to see it. You're gonna see the new symbology, and on the left side of the HUD, you're gonna see some indications as well. Yellow means you have the right angle of attack, and then you got some extra symbology. Okay, so the way you make this lined up is using pitch trim. So you see how the bracket is up? So the way you bring it down is using trim. So you click the pitch trim down, it's gonna bring it down. You click it up, it's gonna go up. Seriously, pitch trim equals bracket movement. That's how it works. This angle of attack is important when you do carrier landings so that you get the right angle to catch a wire. But you know, even when you do shore landings, you know, you get the right angle of attack anyway, because it's the right airspeed to do landing. So see, you're really close to... So the way... You can. So the way it works, so when the flaps are at auto, pitch trim does nothing. Straight up nothing. Don't use it. Left and right wing down will work to balance loads. So when you use ordnance like bombs and missiles, you know, it's gonna imbalance your roll, and you're gonna use a wing trim for that to balance that out. When the flaps are at half and full, that's gonna be to control that E bracket. So now pitch trim is gonna work for that. So see, 154 knots, you're really close to your landing speed. If you use your trim hat, so that's modifier plus your stick hat, you're gonna be able to drip. Yeah. Yeah, you look really stable right now. I'm seeing 146 knots at 2100 feet. That's barometric. You're really stable right now, so you're fun. You're way better than Hans.
Whoa. What's that
I'm
shit?
I'm sorry, man, but he got it way better
Why
than
do
you.
you get me into that?
Because you're my reference, man.
I mean, but he didn't drop anything yet, so...
Yeah, but it's his first hour flying the plane.
Shut up. You-
So
Wait, you're not interested in air to ground? Why not? Okay, the good thing is the F-18 radar is fucking good.
I mean,
I see that, yeah.
you know the F-15E is coming, right?
Yeah, he knows, and we are waiting for it.
Oh, okay. The systems between the F-15E and the F-18 they look pretty similar. I'm seeing stuff I'm recognizing between the two. So I'm seeing you fly, and the bracket is all the way up. So if you do some trim nose up, that's gonna bring the bracket down. And basically the way you align it is between your velocity vector. Now I just saw it disappear, so I'm assuming your gear's coming up. Yeah, I think your gear's up. Yeah, it only shows up with your gear down. You're flying way better than Hans, by the way.
Shut up, Spike!
Just out of curiosity, what kind of experience they have? Because it felt to me like the only thing you knew was the F-15, but now you've been talking about the Su-33, you've been talking about Cessna. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically the E-bracket, you want to align the middle with the velocity vector. When it's there, you're on speed AOA. Right now I'm seeing you're mostly lined up. You're a little slow, but I figure you're gonna be...
It's a pretty trash talk here. It's 4 AM for me. I'm getting off.
Okay, once you're
guys
in
have
that
fun.
stage... Yeah?
See you later.
I'll see you, Hans. Okay, at this point, I'm seeing the E-bracket in the right spot. So you use throttle to bring the velocity vector up and down. So if you want to gain altitude, you push the throttle. But you don't use stick forward and aft. You don't use that. As little as possible, in fact. So in theory, the way you fly the aircraft, you want to go left and right, you use roll. And if you want to change the altitude, you use the throttle. In theory, that's all you do. So what I'm seeing right now, 133 knots. You look a little slow, whatever. But I think it's just a trim issue. 3,000 feet, thereabouts. Yeah, don't touch pitch stick. Don't do pitch stick at all. Actually, it looks like you're not doing any, so that's good. And basically, if you want to align the velocity vector on the vertical axis, you just use the throttle. So if I'm gonna do, say, a 3-degree glide slope, you pull a little bit of throttle until it falls. And just be mindful, the throttle will be lagging behind like a solid 2 seconds. So if it's where you want it to be and then you start throttling up to counteract the change, you know, it's gonna take a second or two to spool. IFE, so left DDI, look down. You're good. If you want to find the nearest aircraft, no, sorry, the nearest airport, do modifier COM1 and just look the closest one in the list. In theory, once your trim is set, you shouldn't have to touch it much. So I'm seeing the E bracket is really high, so when you do, what you want to do is modifier and stick hat down. You just do a couple clicks at a time. And I need to go eat supper at this point. Yeah. So nav assistance is gonna give you a bearing. Just so you know, when you start rolling heavily, that velocity vector will drop, so you're gonna need more throttle to stay level. And that's just a function of drag, right? See, I couldn't tell Hans these things, he doesn't know about. Oh shit, 300 knots, you're over speeding again. Oh, okay. Oh, the airfield is right underneath you. Okay. I mean, it sounds like a cheat code of sorts. I'm gonna give you the tag and channel for Kutaisi. Check it. I think it, yeah. You want some navigation to Kutaisi?
Altitude.
Yeah, you're close, and it's just because it's gonna give you a carrot, so you'll always know where it is, and you'll be able to see on the bottom display. That's your HSI. So, fucking hell. It's up to you. It's gonna teach you how to use the TAC and radio, so it's up to you. Yeah, TACAN is for navigation. You can navigate to airfields that have a TACAN beacon. You can navigate to carriers and takers. Something. Yeah. Kutaisi will show. Correct. Okay. So in the upfront console, you got the black buttons at the bottom. You press TCN for tacking. You do clear, and then you input the frequency. 44, enter. And then you hold the on buttons until you see on. Yeah, it takes about a second. It's not on. But if you just press it, it doesn't turn on. And after that, you go to your HSI. You want to make, actually, hold on right now, do a 180 turn. You're fucking clear, but not long, you're close. Just tell me when you're ready for further instructions. So, I can see it now. You input the channel 44 and now I see on next to it. That means your TACAN radio is on.
Altitude.
I'm gonna see it in a... It's an F-18. Oh, you just did a fucking loop. Yeah, and full afterburner too. You fucking mad lad. Yeah, with the amount of fuel you have, considering you would like maybe to land the aircraft, you should probably consume fuel at this point. Give yourself a handful of passes. Just do 180 for now. So 280 minus 180, so that's 150 minus 80. Yeah, thereabouts of headings 070. Tell me when you're ready.
Altitude.
Okay, you ready? So you did the first part. You turned on your TACAN radio. The next thing you need to do, it's really simple. You go to the HSI. You're gonna have a TCN button on the left hand side of the screen. That's at the bottom. So that's usually the HSI in the situational awareness page, or SA page, it's going to be at the bottom. Correct. You should be able to see a TCN button. You just press it, and you have navigation to TACAN. And now if you look in your heads-up display, you're going to see a distance to waypoint, which in this case it's TACAN.
Altitude.
And in the heading ladder, you're going to see a caret you can follow. Oh shit, 2200 fuel, bro. Yeah, it's low. You're low.
Altitude.
So 17. You're pretty close. Yep. It's gonna lead you directly to it, so maybe you just offset to the right for a lineup. I'm seeing 17 to Kutaisi. On the right side of the heads-up display. Yeah, I'm seeing it late, so... Yeah, you should see a number with KTS next to it. That's waypoint information in that area.
Dodge 7-1, Kutaisi, fly heading 085, port 50, QFE
Sorry, what? 2,000 feet, 150 knots. So your speed brake is the bottom hat, you just pull it back. Or you can try and get into a pattern. If you manage to take control of the aircraft, get into a pattern, you should be fine. Oh yeah. So this isn't like the F-15. This thing, you slam it on the run. Basically, you just hold this glide slope. Huh? Yeah. So you just hold a 3-degree glide slope and it just goes pancake and then brakes. If you want to flare, it's up to you. One thing you're gonna notice is ground effect. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're gonna, if you don't expect it, like I do, well, like I used to anyway, you're gonna feel the aircraft float, and you might be in a certain throttle position, but you need to pull throttle before it happens. Otherwise, you just go up again, right? Bro, I don't think anybody cares. Don't worry about it. I was playing on 4YA servers at some point. There was 3 guys in the runway, and I overflew one guy who was lining up. Like, who was on the ground lining up, and I just passed like 20 feet on top of him with my gear down. It should be on your left. So you're very fast, very, very fast. Check your gear. Actually, your gear is not down. So gear flaps all the way down. Yeah, I'm seeing that now. I'm seeing it on full. I'm seeing a guy fucking doing maneuvers on your nose. I'm gonna see it real soon. Hit like 157 miles per hour. I'm seeing your stick and you're doing push. Oh fucking hell, you touched down. Oh, okay, you're dead. See what I was talking about earlier? I was trying to get you to fly on speed so that you wouldn't be in this situation. Yeah, it should be close to your gear button. You can check it quickly. You just press escape, adjust controls, and then just press the buttons you think it is. It's gonna get you straight to the button. Hey man, it's getting really late, so I need to take a break at least. I need to eat dinner, and if you're up later, if you want, I can try and help you out. It's up to you. Well, yeah, you don't need much for now. The thing is, from my personal experience, especially since I've had the pieces of gear you currently have, by the way. I have a WCS at home, I have a T16K as well. That's how I started playing DCS. The only thing I had over you was Track IR. So I know what you're going through, and VR has benefits and drawbacks. Like, let alone costs. The thing is, you lose, when things are really far, you lose definition. You know that ability you have to zoom really far? I don't have that. So, it's a really expensive... I'll call it an upgrade, but, you know,